eyes than I do from up here. And East Columbus now driving with the ball on the St. Paul's 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Freeman and McClure in the backfield. Ratliff taking the snap out of the shotgun. It's a handoff to McClure up the middle off the left side. And McClure is in the end zone. And that was a run right up the middle off center and left guard. Excellent blocking on that side of the line. And that is going to make it 46-12. East Columbus winning now with 7:50 left to go in the third quarter. Excellent job, East Columbus, coming out of the halftime break, establishing themselves, doing an excellent job. And so here we have the try after touchdown, and that's kicking here. And low snap, ball is up, and it looks like it is good. And that was Martin on the kick, and that's going to make it 47-12 now. 47-12, East Columbus with a comfortable 35-point lead. And we are looking now 47-12, 7:50 left to go in the third quarter. All right, so we said we were going to see offense at the beginning of this game, and we have certainly seen plenty of offense. I think the 3 turnovers from St. Paul's really hurt them. Obviously, East Columbus taking advantage, scoring 3 touchdowns off those turnovers. And without those turnovers, this game, quite frankly, could have a completely different complexion. But here we go now with Malik Livingston back deep to receive for St. Paul's. And I believe it's Martin set to kick off for East Columbus. And we've seen a lot of short, low kickoffs from both teams. As a matter of fact, from St. Paul's, they typically don't even use a tee. They place the ball flat on the ground and try to kick it as hard. And, of course, the hope is you hit it off with somebody and you're able to recover it. So see what happens here. Again, Livingston back deep to receive for St. Paul's. And it's a squib kick once again, and it's hit, and it's on the ground. And number 10, that is Xavier Downing for St. Paul's, fell on the football and was almost recovered by East Columbus. So St. Paul's now in business, trailing 47-12 East Columbus. In the lead, they have the football, St. Paul's does, on their own 34-yard line. 1st and 10 now with Kane Banner and Sean Williams in the backfield, once again running an offense much like East Columbus. Shotgun, single back set. They like to throw out of this formation. They do run a little more 4 receiver. They've got 3 receivers spread right, split left right now, and there is Kane Banner waiting for the play, and he takes the snap, he hands it off to Williams, and no going.
Williams on the carry, tackled by number 30, Isaiah Day.
Second down. And they got 10 to go.
All right, so 2nd and 10. St. Paul's quickly up to the football, and that's Kane Banner waiting for the snap there with Williams. And he takes the snap. It's a 5-step drop back, and he's got a man open, and it's dropped. Deion Gilchrist for St. Paul's had an opening. He was well covered, but the football was thrown on time, but could not hang on.
And it's still 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 now. Kane Banner waiting for the play and telling his line. We have 3 receivers. Check that. We've got trips right, spread left. We have 4 receivers in the backfield. Banner back to pass and getting a little bit of pressure. He's got a man. It's tipped. Tipped by East Columbus. It looks like that is number 11, Henry Baldwin, was back in zone coverage and was able to get his hands on the football across the middle. And that is an incomplete pass. And I believe, judging from the change in personnel, we're looking at a punt from St. Paul's. Big defensive series there now. East Columbus coming out, scoring immediately, and now holding St. Paul's very potent 400-point offense to a couple of series and out. So here's Livingston back to punt. It's a high snap. He gets it down, and looks like it's going to go out of bounds. And that's going to be the 39-yard line. East Columbus will take over on their own 39-yard line, leading now 47-12 over the St. Paul's Bulldogs. 7 minutes left to go now in the third quarter. And East Columbus now back on the football. And Freeman, McClure, and Ratliff in the backfield. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to, it looks like Freeman, and he breaks a tackle, moves to the inside, and makes a gain. He's still running. He's still on his feet. No whistle yet, and he is now down 4 very hard-fought yards there.
It is second down.
Second and about 6 for the Gators.
All right, second now and 6 for East Columbus with the ball on their own 44-yard line. Freeman, McClure, and now Ricky Ratliff at quarterback, waiting for the snap. Got one man split to the left, and here's a handoff to Nick McClure. He goes over the left side. He's got a block.
It's first down.
And a first down by East Columbus. Nick McClure with a 7-yard run, and they are now in St. Paul's territory, driving the football.
49-yard line of the Bulldogs. It's enough for Gator first down.
And East Columbus back quickly on the football. Got the ball on the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. Ratliff waiting for the snap. You've got flanker left, one wide receiver to the left. You've got a tight end left and right side. And it looks as though East Columbus might be working the clock just a little bit. They're taking their time. Pace is slowed down a little bit. And there's a handoff to Freeman. He's up the middle. He's got a little bit of room, and he takes the ball down for close to a 7-yard gain.
So it's second and 7.
42-yard line.
And the score is still 47-12.
And here comes the play. And again, East Columbus with this lead, keeping the ball on the ground. Coach Cassell is really working the clock. Each play is taking a lot longer than it typically does. East Columbus taking their time. They're running out of 2 tight ends, which is something we haven't seen a lot of. They've got 2 backs in the backfield. Still out of the shotgun, though. Here's the snap. It's a high snap, and it's given, and it looks like it's fumbled, and it's recovered by the Bulldogs. High shotgun snap. It was a high snap. Ratliff bobbled it, got it in Freeman's hands, but barely, and then it looked like the ball was dropped. So
I believe that is their first fumble of the game.
I believe so. And so the Bulldogs now take over with the football on their own 43-yard line. Excellent field position now for the Bulldogs to get something going here. And it looks like they're going to come out with spread right, split left, 3 wide receivers now with, of course, Sean Williams, where he has been all night, right beside Kane Banner in the shotgun formation. And Banner and Williams are talking a little bit. Now here's Banner taking the snap. It's a little low, and he's rolling out to the right. Looks like it's a boot, and he cuts up and gets a short gain of around 2 yards. Kane Banner around right in for 2 yards on the keeper. And Ethan, I'm pretty sure on that play it was designed to be not an option, but he was going to keep the ball from the beginning. So we've seen from St. Paul's Kane reading the linebacker and sometimes giving the ball to Sean Williams and sometimes pulling it down. But I think that time it was a designed boot play. So here we are now, St. Paul's with the football. They are 2nd and 7 now with the ball on their own 45-yard line. And here's Banner with the snap. It's low. He pulls back. He's got a man open downfield, but he's getting chased by a host of Gators. Now he's flushed out of the pocket inside and picks up the first down. So Kane Banner got some pressure, pulled the football down, and was able to pick up the first down.
Enough for a Bulldog first down. Tackle by number 8, Terrence Manning of Gators.
1st and 10, and the score is 47-12, Gators.
And the Bulldogs quickly back on the line. Here's Banner taking the snap. And it's a good snap this time. It's going to be a handoff to Sean Williams up the middle, and he's going to get maybe a yard. That's going to bring up 2nd now and 9. Got a couple of scores for you. At the end of 3rd, we have East Bladen 28, South Columbus 0, and we have West Columbus and South Robinson tied at the end of 3. And now St. Paul's on the football. Banner waiting for the snap. It's a little bit low. He's back to pass. He's got a man open in the slant, and it is almost intercepted. It was a little bit high there for Malik Livingston, and East Columbus was back in zone defense and almost picked that off. All right, so brings up now 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. And it looks like we have a flag down. Flag down on the play. And having a conversation with St. Paul, so we got to assume it's on the Gators here. Waiting for the call from the official. And
number 66 is like he's hurt.
Looks
He's
like
limping off the field.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against St. Paul's. So that's going to back it up 15. And I think what the official was doing in that case is he was actually talking to the player with the penalty. And it's a good job by the officials to again, remind the players this is a game about their sportsmanship. And good job by the officials to make note of that and to talk to the players, not just throw the flag. So here we are now, 3rd, and I'm just going to call it 25 because it's a lot. But St. Paul's, with a long way to go for the 1st down, they are now back inside their own territory on the 41-yard line and trailing 47-12. East Columbus leading 47-12. And now Kane Banner, quarterback for St. Paul's, waiting for the snap. Here's the snap, and it's a drop back by Banner. He's got a man open. He dumps it off there to number 25, Javon Crawford. But it's a little low, and it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down now for St. Paul's. And we got to change of personnel, so I am thinking that they're going to at least line up to punt. And Malik Livingston, number 5, is back to punt for the Bulldogs. And back deep, we've got number 8, Taryn Manning. Yep. High snap, and Livingston has to chase it down. It's a low kick, and it takes a good bounce. But Malik Livingston did an excellent job of corralling that one. He almost had to back up 3 or 4 steps to get underneath it. So East Columbus now with the football and on their own 32-yard line, in control, 47-12, with 2:46 left in the 3rd quarter. And East Columbus came out of the first half after halftime, scored a quick touchdown, answered with a quick stop against St. Paul's, and then now a second stop and back on offense. So East Columbus's defense has done an excellent job in the second half of stopping the very potent, very well disciplined and coached St. Paul's offense. So here's Ratliff once again and taking the snap. And that's going to be a handoff now to Greg Melvin. He gets around the outside. He's got some room. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, and brought down at the 15-yard line. Excellent effort by St. Paul's. That is number 10, Xavier Downing. Did not give up on the play, chased it down, and just got a shoestring. Just got a shoestring. So excellent job there by Downing. It's a big play. East Columbus, 1st and 10 on the St. Paul's 15-yard line now, leading 47-12 in the 3rd quarter. 2:36 left to go. And we do have a final, East Bladen over South Columbus. This is a final 28-6. 28-6, that's a final, East Bladen over South Columbus. Ratliff on the keeper up the middle.
So he's brought down on the 10. It is 2nd down.
The winning 50-50 ticket is 7-4-1.
And here's Ratliff lining up with Nick McClure in the backfield. Got 2 tight ends. One wide receiver, and it looks like that is Ratliff on the keeper. Gets a block by Derek Young, and he is in the end zone. Nice block by Derek Young. Was able to spring Ricky Ratliff around left end. And ladies and gentlemen, that makes it East Columbus 53, St. Paul's 12. With 1:51 left to go here now in the third quarter.
If you have the winning ticket, come to the press box.
So big run there, which set up the Ricky Ratliff around left end. And East Columbus in control, 53-12 here, waiting on the kick.
And the kick is up. And it's good, I think.
Yeah, it's good. All right, so that's 54-12. So big night for the East Columbus offense and defense. And Ethan, if I had to think of a turning point in this game, of course we've got a little ways to go. But if I had to think of a turning point, it was those two back-to-back fumble recoveries for touchdowns by East Columbus on successive plays. That was a big turning point, and East Columbus has not looked back ever since. So excellent job there, and good job. And again, St. Paul's is a very well-coached team. I have a feeling that Trey Sasser is going to have them ready to go next week. And, of course, again, we have some football to play here. But it's been a good football game overall. And, of course, both teams, I think, can be proud of the way that their teams have played. So now Martin's getting ready to kick off. And back deep, we've got Malik Livingston. It seems like he's everywhere. And do have an update for you. West Columbus and South Robinson going to overtime, tied at 6. So West Columbus and South Rob in overtime. Sounds like they've got a good game there. And here's the kick. It's a deep kick now. Livingston's going to catch it on the fly. And he's got a wall of blockers up front. He makes one miss. He gets to the outside. He's got a little bit of running room still on his feet. And he is taken down now at the
42-yard line.
42-yard line. Excellent. So nice return there by Malik Livingston. And, again, he's done it all tonight. He's been everywhere. Definitely an asset to St. Paul's. And finally got a chance to return one on the kickoff. And returns it up close to midfield now, 42-yard line. St. Paul's takes over 1st and 10 for St. Paul's on their own 42-yard line. Trailing now 54-12 in the third quarter. And here's Kane Banner waiting for the snap. He gives it off to Williams up the middle and met there by a host of Gators led by number 44, L.J. Little. Looks like that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
And we do have a winner.
Check that. That'll be 2nd, and we'll call it 8. And Banner is waiting for the play to come in. He gets it and relays it to his offensive line. And we've got spread right, split left, or flanker left. And here's Banner with the snap and gives it off to Williams. Over the right side, getting a few yards. And brought down after a decent run there. But well short of the 1st down.
It is 3rd down.
And St. Paul's up on the football. We've got about 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball is marked on St. Paul's 49-yard line. Banner waiting for the snap. Out of the shotgun, he takes it, and it's a quick drop. And it's caught there. And looks like that's going to be Deion Gilchrist on that side. I checked that. That is not Gilchrist. That's Malik Livingston on that side. So that's a short game, but enough for a 1st down. So St. Paul's now moving the football a little, throwing. And, of course, the one benefit to throwing the football a little more is it does stop the clock if there's an incomplete pass, and St. Paul's kind of working the sidelines. So here we go now, St. Paul's.
It's 1st and 10.
And there's Banner back to drop. He fakes one way. He's got a man open deep down the sideline and couldn't make it. Malik Livingston just a little bit out of bounds for him. Pass was on target, but could not quite get there. Livingston, once again, was open, but a little bit overthrown there by Kane Banner. So here we go now. Ball is on the 42-yard line of East Columbus. East Columbus leading 54-12 here in the closing moments of the third quarter. And here's the snap, handoff to Williams, up the middle. He's got a first down. He keeps fighting, and looks like he's going to be about a yard. No, check that. He does have the first down. They're going to give him forward progress. Going to move the chains here, and now St. Paul's. And I think, are they going to be able to get, that's the end of the third quarter. So, end of the third quarter here, Gator Field, and we have a 54-12 lead. East Columbus well in control. So, few scores here for you. End of third quarter, we have Whiteville 43, West Bladen 13. And we're waiting for an update on the West Columbus South Robinson game. Last we heard, it was an overtime tied 6-6. So, waiting and looking for an update there. We know that's a big game. And just to update you, if you haven't heard, we do have a final score now. And that final is East Bladen 28, South Columbus 6. So, coming out of the change of quarter, changing sides here. And I've got Mr. Aaron Yates with me now. It's going to take over for the fourth quarter.
Hola.
Aaron, great to have you here. Appreciate all the great work you're doing with the students out here. And I can tell you we're very proud of the program and the work that you're doing with them. And I think you'd agree the kids are, man, they're really doing a good job.
Yeah, they're getting better and better every game.
Yeah, and of course that's what everything is about in education, is you get a little better every time you do it. So, all right, here we have St. Paul's now up on the football, and we've got spread right, split left, and we're looking at the first play of the fourth quarter, and it's a low snap by Banner, and he picks it up, and he's getting some pressure. He throws down the middle. Good pass there by Malik Livingston, catches it on the run, and it's going to be a first down, and it's going to be first and goal for St. Paul. So Kane Banner takes the football, low snap, picks it up, gets some pressure, steps into pressure, and throws a strike to Malik Livingston. So,
yeah, that was a pretty good correction by the quarterback after that low snap.
Excellent job. I think we've seen how Kane Banner has racked up so many yards this year throwing the football.
Yeah.
He's got great accuracy when he has a chance to throw. All right, Kane Banner waiting for the snap. We've got two wide receivers to the right and a wing left there, and that looks like that's going to be a handoff to Williams. And he is going to go in for the score.
Touchdown.
So that is Sean Williams with the score. That is going to make it 54 now to 18.
And that's St. Paul's first score since the first quarter?
I believe so. The East Columbus defense has shut down the Bulldogs offense, and that's a major feat considering they've scored in the 50s on a couple of occasions and in the 40s as well. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like they're lining up, Aaron, for the two-point conversion and waiting for the play to come in. And there's Kane Banner getting the play, relaying it quickly to his offensive line. We've got two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. And Banner waiting for the snap. He takes it. It's going to be a pass. He drops back with a little bit of pressure and is almost intercepted, but is incomplete. So the point after touchdown is no good. And that leaves us with the score, East Columbus 54, St. Paul's 18.
That was a pretty good drive for St. Paul's that time.
That was a good drive, and I think if they'll get a chance to touch the football at least a couple more times, I think you're really going to see them try to open things up and put the ball in Kane Banner's hands and just say, hey, let's throw the football down the field.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen since the first quarter from them.
Yeah, and just want to say, too, for those of you that are listening in, and we had a great performance at halftime by the dance team and the cheerleaders, and the band played very well in the beginning of the game. And also we've got St. Paul's band over here. We see them on the other side. They've been trying to fire up their side. So, and we just can't forget, man, it's a lot of opportunities for kids to learn. and not only on the football field but around the football field. And nothing like high school football and nothing like high school athletics. So great job all the way around.
They look like they're having a good time, even though it's 40 degrees outside.
Absolutely. I'm glad I'm not out there.
Oh, man.
It even looks cold. All right, so here we are now. The kickoff, it's a low kick, and it's going to be taken there by, I believe that's Derek Young. He's on the right side, and he's got a little bit of room.
Got some room.
And we'll have to check that number. And brought down right
Shoestring
at the
tackle.
30-yard line. Almost broke it. And we've got a number on that. I believe that is going to be Jonathan Stacker on that play. So he takes the squib kick, pushes it right up the middle, and East Columbus takes over 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line with a commanding 54-18 lead now. 11:22 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Are they keeping Ratliff behind the center this time?
I'll have to look and see.
'Cause I know they've been swapping them in and out during the game.
And
yeah, he's out there.
It looks like it is Ratliff, and he's got McClure out there, and I believe that's also number 22, Jalen Dumas, I believe. We'll have to check that number. And here's the snap, and that's a handoff inside, and he's got a little bit of running room and close to a first down.
Picked up about 9.
Excellent run there. And that is, I believe, number 22, Jalen Dumas.
So that brings up 2nd and 1.
Nice 9-yard pickup by number 22 there. And in comes Greg Melvin now in the backfield.
Greg Melvin, he's quick.
Very quick. And I can tell you East Columbus is now starting to think about a little bit of clock management now with the big lead.
Yeah.
And you're going to see them running the football and keeping it on the ground now with about 11 minutes to go left here in the fourth quarter. And, again, East Columbus, very well-coached team, just like St. Paul's, really working the clock, and their coaches communicating with them, telling them when to start the play. And nice clock management here by East Columbus. And here's the snap to Ratliff. It's going to be a quick handoff, and not much there. Not much going. And St. Paul's, good job that time on defense.
He lost one.
And that was Brandon Freeman on the play. Britton Spalding on the play. On the carry. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 now. And it's nice now that they're doing some clock management. We can have some time to breathe.
Yeah.
This has been a fast-paced game. And East Columbus is once again back on center, ready to go. Ricky Ratliff, Greg Melvin, and Britton Spalding in the backfield.
First quarter felt like the fourth quarter to me.
Absolutely. That was the longest first quarter, I think, in the history of high school football. And it might be the most points scored in one quarter.
What was the score at the end of the first quarter?
We'll have to check. I think there were 34 points scored. And it's hard for me to even remember the first quarter at this point. This has been a lot of football here, a lot of good football. Got a flag on the play, and that's offsides against St. Paul's. Makes it a little easier now, 2nd and we'll call it 6 for East Columbus. And we are still waiting on South Robeson, West Columbus score. Of course, we'll be at West Columbus next week.
Okay.
Bring you the game.
And that's against Red Springs?
I believe so.
Yes.
Be a good game.
We watched them last week. They were a pretty good team.
Excellent team. A lot like the teams that we've seen. That just their quarterback is more of a pocket passer.
Yeah.
Very accurate. Very accurate. Here's Ratliff waiting for the snap. And it is a quick handoff. No, it's a pitch.
Option.
And the ball's on the ground. And it was recovered by Greg Melvin. It was a fake to this side, off tackle, and then an option. And the pitch to Greg Melvin was a little difficult to handle. Ball's on the ground, but he does recover. But it does bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, that option play, that's a very scary play, especially when that end comes crashing down to the quarterback.
Yeah,
pitch it to take that hit.
Yep, and sometimes quarterbacks like to pitch it a little early when they see that end crashing down. All right, Ratliff back in the shotgun, waiting on his coach to tell him when he's got enough time taken off the clock, but not enough time to draw a delay of game.
Oh. Greg Melvin on the outside. He's tackled
have Greg Melvin on the carry. And that's going to bring up 4th down. East Columbus burning about 3 minutes off the clock with that series. And right now that's the name of the game, is burning up time. East Columbus is going to bring out the punt team. We're going to see a punt coming up. And Ricky Ratliff back to punt. And we've got, I believe that would be Jamel for St. Paul's.
The special teams have been working all night long tonight, both ways. Kickoff, return, punt.
And there is a decent punt, and it looks like it's going to drop in
at the 10.
Close to, certainly inside the 20-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. That's going to be right near the 11-yard line. So good punt there by Ricky Ratliff, and he is having a good night on all parts of the game.
Yeah.
Behind center and punting game. So St. Paul's now in business, 89 yards away from a score, trailing East Columbus 54-18. And East Columbus, if you're just joining us here at WZCO and WZCO.org, we had 2 back-to-back fumble returns for touchdowns by East Columbus that St. Paul's has never recovered from.
Yeah.
And that set the tone, and East Columbus has been able to move the football and stop St. Paul's pretty much the entire game.
Ooh, nice hit by number 44 for East.
And that is L.J. Little there,
L.J. Little,
who's had a good night playing defense there. And so winding down to 7:30 left in the 4th quarter, East Columbus up 54-18 once again, and St. Paul's with the football on their own 11-yard line, 12-yard line.
12.
Check that. And so there's Banner waiting for the snap out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. It's a fake handoff. He keeps it up the middle and is brought down almost immediately after a short gain. And it looks like there was a fumble on the play. Was it a strip or a fumble? We're waiting for a call. It is a touchdown.
They changed quarterbacks that play.
I believe they did. We couldn't see exactly what happened, but Henry Baldwin either stripped or picked up the football to give East Columbus their 3rd fumble return for a touchdown tonight. East Columbus High School with 3 fumble returns for touchdowns against the St. Paul Bulldogs, now with a 60-18 lead with 7 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. We'll have to look at that on replay. We couldn't exactly see what happened, but it was it looked like it may have been a strip. I didn't see the ball on the ground. And here's Martin getting ready to punt. The point after. Low snap, and it's blocked.
Blocked.
Number 34, Damian McMillan, came through and blocked that one cleanly. So good job there by McMillan and the St. Paul's defense.
Yeah, I think that was a strip that time. Because the refs didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, it's interesting because the referee was looking at the side judge, and they were trying to figure out exactly what happened. It was kind of a bang-bang play, and they kind of looked at each other and conferred for just a split second, and then the arms went up, and we have our 3rd fumble return for a touchdown.
I'll tell you what, if it was a strip, that takes a lot of strength to reach in there and grab that ball away from somebody that's trying to protect it.
Okay, so still waiting, folks, on that West Columbus South Robinson score. They were in overtime, tied 6-6. Very important game for West Columbus. All right, St. Paul's set to receive, and it's an onside kick, and it's recovered by the Gators. No, yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
An onside kick. Mac Jenkins recovers for the Gators. So I don't know if that was intended, and I see some conferring going on with coaches and the kicker. It could have just as easily been a missed kick. They've been squibbing all night, and it seemed like that was a short squib, but East Columbus recovers, leading now 60-18 with the ball on the St. Paul's 39-yard line.
South Robinson 12, West Columbus 12, double overtime.
And we just received word. You probably heard that on the announcement. 12-12 overtime. South Robinson, West Columbus all tied up. So good game there down in Roland. And fake handoff.
Ratliff keeping.
Yep. Ratliff over left side. And looks like a pickup about 7 there.
Flag on the play. Looks as if it's going to be sportsmanlike conduct.
We have a flag on the play.
St. Paul's. There was a little tussle at the end of that play.
And Aaron, I do want to mention something. I realized we're actually going to see St. Paul's and West Columbus next week.
Yeah, we will.
So we'll have Red Springs coming up on the 26th.
Oh, the 26th.
So, yeah, so we'll be back to see St. Paul's at West Columbus. So we'll be bringing you that game live on WZCO 89.9, Chadbourne, North Carolina, and also WZCO, where you can find links to all the places we're doing the great live streaming of this football game, both video and audio, and just audio. Heck, you can even get it on your cell phone or even your landline phone.
Personal foul against the
Yep, got a personal foul against St. Paul's, and that's going to march the ball on down the field, give East Columbus a first down, and now with 60-18 lead now, East Columbus, 6:50 left to go in the fourth quarter. Definitely going to be looking at running some clock here. And Ratliff getting the play. And we've got Britton Spalding as well as, check that, Greg Melvin and Britton Spalding in the backfield with Ricky Ratliff. And they're going with a 2 tight end set now. And
running off a little clock.
Running off clock. And there's Ratliff waiting for Coach Cassell's signal to begin the play. And, again, good clock management by Coach Cassell. And here is the snap. And it's a handoff now to Britton Spalding. He's looking for a little bit of running room, and he's not going to find it.
No gain.
No gain on the play. And that's number 44, Gabriel Washington, there on the tackle. Good job there by the right side of the St. Paul's defense.
We're going to see a little bit of...
And so, again, quickly back on the line, and now the clock is running. We're at 5:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Ratliff once again waiting for the signal to run the play. 5:46 now left to go. And here's the play. Shotgun snap to Ratliff. He takes it, hands it off to, looks like that is going to be...
Number 22.
Yeah, that's Jalen Dumas. And he gets a good run up over the left side of the line. And that's going to bring up second, and we'll call it 2 from where we are. And now with 5:15 left to go in the fourth quarter, East Columbus leading 60-18. That is 6-0 to 1-8. And East Columbus has been in control of this game since 2 back-to-back fumble returns for touchdowns. And we have had since then a 3rd fumble return for a touchdown. So East Columbus 18 points off of 3 St. Paul's fumbles.
And all 3 of those were for touchdowns, right?
All 3 for touchdowns.
Okay.
So if you've put the ball on the ground tonight, it's been in the end zone. And we got a measurement here. We got a first down. It's going to bring up first and goal for East Columbus. And with 5:11 left in the fourth quarter, East Columbus knocking on the door. It looks like East Columbus is going to move to 5-4 and position themselves nicely in the Three Rivers Conference. So here's Ratliff waiting for clock to wind down a few ticks. And he's got Britton Spalding with him and Jalen Dumas. And here is the snap. And it's Britton Spalding over the right side and picks up maybe a yard or 2. Going to bring up second and goal.
Made at the line by number 34, Damian McMillan.
So, Aaron, when you think about the game, what strikes you the most about this game for East Columbus?
Oh, man, what strikes me the most was it seems like last week they got down because Red Springs jumped out on them with a 2-touchdown lead, and it seems like they couldn't come back from that. But tonight, since they jumped out on St. Paul's, it looks like they kept their momentum on throughout the whole game.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree. They came out swinging, they came out fighting, and played well on both sides of the football in the first quarter, and that set them up for the rest of the game. Looks like we got Britton Spalding right there in the middle, and that's going to bring up third and goal. And we've got number 7, Greg Melvin, coming into the game. He's going to tap number 22, Jalen Dumas, and he's going to come off for a well-deserved rest. So we're going to have Spalding and Melvin in the backfield with Ricky Ratliff getting the call and walking it in. And waiting for a few more ticks of the clock. We're at 3:10 now left to go in the fourth quarter. East Columbus leading 60-18. And first and goal on the St. Paul's 5-yard line. And here's the play. Ratliff waiting for the snap. Takes it. Hands it off quickly. Britton Spalding. He gets outside. He cuts up the middle and stopped just short of the goal line.
That was a good hard run.
And we're going to call it third and goal from the 2-yard line there, Aaron. And looks like we may have had Spalding shaking up a little bit on the play.
Yeah.
He's up, and I think he's ready to roll. So now with 2:27 left to go in the fourth quarter, East Columbus leading 60-18, and looking for one more score on the 2-yard line of St. Paul's. And we've got, I believe this is fourth and goal. Ratliff waiting patiently for the clock to wind down. And here's the snap. It's a quick handoff, and looks like we've got some movement on the play. Got a flag on the field, and looks like that would be a dead ball legal procedure, but we'll wait for the call. Yep, dead ball legal procedure against the Gators. It's going to back them up to the 7-yard line, where it'll be fourth and goal now for the Gators. And with 2 minutes left, 2:03 left here in the fourth quarter, now the clock is winding. We're down to 2. This will take us down close to a minute and 30 left to go in the game, regardless of the outcome. So Ratliff waiting for the signal from his coach to run the play. You got Melvin in the backfield as well as Britton Spalding. And here's the snap. It's a handoff to Spalding up the middle. He's got a little room to run outside.
Yeah,
he gets loose.
Looks like he got in there that time.
And he's going to be just short.
Oh.
Just short. 2-yard line. Stop at the 2-yard line. Britton Spalding. So with 1:22 left in the fourth quarter, St. Paul's takes over on downs, 98 yards from a score. And this has been a good game. This has been a really good game. It's been a good game for East Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this will go a long way to propelling them for the playoffs. But I will say St. Paul's, a very talented team. Again, Trey Sasser, an excellent, excellent coach who will have these guys ready to play next week at West Columbus.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a really good game next week. And, of course, West Columbus, we're waiting to see how they're doing at South Robinson. It was tied 12-12 in double overtime. But that will be a good game next week between West Columbus and St. Paul's. Yeah, so here's the snap, and we've got Kane Banner on the keeper around left side. He gets a little bit of room, makes a move, spins, and brought down close to the 16-yard line.
And I think East Columbus, they have Fairmont and South Robinson coming up for the last 2 weeks of the season. And I think those two games depend on their playoff hopes.
And would love to see all our teams make it to the playoffs this year.
We would.
course, I don't know where we would go. We'd have to pick one. That would be hard. That would be hard to do. All right, under a minute now left to go here in the fourth quarter. And Kane Banner, who has had a good game under center, or I should say about 5 yards back of center, hands off to Williams, who is taken down. And that's number 11, Henry Baldwin, who scored the last fumble return. I can't just say the fumble return for a touchdown. I have to say which one. Scored on the last fumble return. That's Henry Baldwin. And we're looking at 30 seconds. I think St. Paul's may try to run one more play. And that's going to be it for this game. Okay. Here's Banner with the handoff right up the middle to Williams, and that's going to do it.
That'll be it.
So East Columbus uses 3 defensive touchdowns on their way to a 60-18 victory over the St. Paul's Bulldogs, a very talented St. Paul's Bulldogs team. And East Columbus will come over to the sideline, we'll shake hands, and that's the game.
Yeah.
So good job, East Columbus. Congratulations to Coach Cassell and also all the coaches and the players. Great job tonight. So 60-18, and we're going to hang around just a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the game, and also we're still going to try to wait around for that South Robinson West Columbus score so we can give that to you. So any closing thoughts, Aaron, while we're thinking about the football game here?
Oh, man, this was a great game tonight. Even though St. Paul's couldn't pull it together, I really have respect for East Columbus and their hard work tonight. Putting up 60 points tonight. Right. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. And I think as you go on and think about postseason, one of the things that you have to go deep in the postseason is going to be a good defense. And I think tonight we saw East Columbus play very good defense against a very fast, very capable, and very, quite frankly, very talented St. Paul's team that had put up an average of close to 50 points a game. Yeah. And tonight they were held to under 20. And I'd have to check. I believe it is their lowest point total of the season, St. Paul's. So going forward, I think the coaches from East Columbus have to think that if they can reach the postseason, their team has evolved to the point where they could go far with the balanced attack they have on offense, the speed they have on offense, but how well they play on defense. So I'm really excited to see how East Columbus goes, how they do from here on out.
Yeah, because in football, well, in all sports, you have to have offense to score. But defense puts you in a position to score, especially in football. And that happened a lot tonight. Their defense put them closer to the opposing goal line a whole lot.
And not only do you have the 3 touchdowns scored by the defense, but there were 2, possibly 3 other scores that were a direct result of just outstanding defensive play. And there were also a couple of other turnovers thrown in there as well. So defense wins the night tonight for East Columbus, and really made a difference, I think, all the way around. So once again, East Columbus with the victory over St. Paul's, and we're waiting on the South Robinson West Columbus score, and they were tied 12-12 in overtime, double overtime. And so we're going to hang around a little while and try to wait for that. So, Aaron, while we're waiting, do you want to tell the audience what setup is like for one of these games for the students and I guess for us?
Okay. Well, basically we have a 3-camera setup, and it's very, very intricate. We got 3 computers, 1 for our streaming, we have 1 for our switching, and we have 1 for, well, tonight we have 1 for YouTube. We have our 2 mics that we have set up running in a mixer board. And all those things have to be set up and plugged in before the game, and it takes us a while to do that.
I think we have more cable up here than AT&T laid in Manhattan.
Yeah, I believe so.
There's a lot of cable. Talk to us about where the cameras are situated, because I think some people might be interested about what the viewpoints are, and then how we get the signal from the cameras all the way up here in the booth.
Well, we have 2 cameras on we have 2 on the field that are placed about 10-yard line, and we have 1 on top of the press box. Those 2, the one that's up top is our primary camera. It gets the aerial footage, and that's the one that we see the most. And the ones on the field get the action, and we switch to those as secondaries. But the way they're set up by Ethernet. And what are those boxes called?
They're called Balins, so they convert the
Balins.
signal, yeah.
Yeah, and they send the signal up here to our switcher, and the switcher outputs that footage to our streaming camera, and that's what you get at home when you're watching it.
And so if you go to WZCO.org, you can actually see some photos of our setup and some of the students in action. But the portable switcher that we have is something that really adds a lot of benefit to what we're doing, because we can actually switch between up to 6 cameras.
Yeah.
So, certainly added a lot of enjoyment. I think more importantly is giving the students a really authentic experience for broadcasting a game. Hey, Aaron, I got a final for us now. Whiteville 57, West Bladen 21. So the Wolfpack taking care of West Bladen tonight.
Okay.
And again, we're still waiting for West Columbus and South Robeson. They're tied 12-12 in double overtime. I think about some of the games I've seen in college recently. I think it was the West Virginia Baylor game. I looked at the score and I said, that must have been 6 overtimes, and I think it was regulation, and it was 70-64 or something insane like that. So,
man,
certainly games can go on indefinitely.
I know their defensive coaches were having a fit after that game.
I think so. I think it'd be hard to score 70 points in a college football game. If there wasn't a defense on the field, it'd be hard to score that. So, I think there are also, now with the college football season, we're starting to see some matchups really come into play, and now that the BCS standings, I think, come out this week, I believe.
Yeah, this week.
College football is starting to get interesting, as they start playing down towards bowls, and I love bowl season for college
They have a
football.
new bowl set up this year, don't they?
I believe they do, yeah.
Okay.
But see, I don't like to watch the New Year's Day bowls. I like to watch the ones that happen like December 16th.
Yeah.
Because those are the kids that they're the ones out there that are just playing because they love the game. There's a lot of really good football played in those early bowl games. So.
Yeah.
All right, still waiting now on a score. We've had some updates, but nothing since the 12-12 double overtime tie between West Columbus and South Robeson. And we're going to hang on for a couple more minutes, but we've got about 800 feet of cable that we got to roll up. And I have a feeling Coach Bracey is probably going to cut the lights off on us if we stay around too much later than 10:30 or so. So we may not be able to hang out with you much longer.
I was thinking if West Columbus's game, if their overtime is anything like our first quarter, it might still be 12-12, second overtime.
Yeah, I was getting scores at the end of the first quarter about third quarter scores. So I was like, that was definitely a long, long quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, South Robeson, we have a score. South Robeson over West Columbus, 23-20 in triple overtime. So South Robeson winning at West Columbus, 23-20 in triple overtime. So, next week we'll have West Columbus at St. Paul's, or St. Paul's at West Columbus, and we'll be bringing you that broadcast. And I certainly hope you tune in. And just closing thoughts, very proud of East Columbus tonight. And also thought St. Paul's played well, and I know that they'll bounce back next week and be ready for West Columbus. Looking forward to bringing you guys that game. And we really appreciate you being with us, supporting our programs, supporting our school system, and, of course, the main thing is supporting our students and our kids. And, Aaron, thank you for all the work you've done.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
For Mr. Hobbs and for Aaron Yates. My name's Kelly Jones, and this has been WZCO 89.9 and WZCO.org. East Columbus taking care of St. Paul's tonight by a score of 60-18. So good night for East Columbus, and we hope that you will have a good night. Enjoy the weekend, and if you're listening to us on 89.9, you'll be returned to our regular programming in about 15 seconds. So thank you. Have a great night.